Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is GGF bringing you episode 36 of Let's Try Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2025. Bong bong, mashallah. God bless all you guys, and thank you indeed for joining me. Hope you're all doing well. There's a lot going on my laptop right now, so I hope that doesn't interfere with recording the game. I'm excited because what a game last time. If you didn't see the last episode, please pause this. Do yourself a favor, come back to it later and go check that out because it was a game where we saw the opponent, the top scorer in the nation for the Morgan State Grizzlies, Eric Slaughter, score over 40 points. It was an incredible performance, yet we got the win. It was so crazy. Bunch of our guys stepped up. It was a hugely dope game. Our first win in conference that puts us kind of right back in things, right in the mix. So let me pause this and see why it's not starting up. Give me a second, guys. All right, and we're back, guys. So after a few things I finished up and paused on my computer or on my laptop, we're gonna get the game finally started here. Didn't want to start because I was doing some other stuff on the same drive, which I shouldn't have been. But here we are. And 1 second, guys. My mouse is not working right. Okay, and I think we're good to go. So here we are. We've got 3 injuries. Joel Boone playing with a sprained wrist for 4 days. Curtis Muhammad suspended, as is Joey Manning. But we got our first conference win. We're 351st net rank, which is basically the bottom of the barrel. If we look at the top 25, we've got Alabama, same top 5 actually. Kentucky at 18-2, Ohio State Chestnuts, same score. West Lafayette 17-4, and Illinois at 18-2. Then we have Kansas State up 1 to number 6, 17-2. South Bend Leprechauns to 18-3. Michigan State 15-5, up 1 to number 8. Nashville dropped 3. The Admirals 17-2. North Carolina up 1 to 10 at 16-4. Florida up 2 to 11. Cal Los Angeles Bears up 4 to number 12, 17-3. Omaha Bluebirds down 3 to 15-4. 14th spot is Kansas down 2. Texas stays the same, 16-1. Nice record. Number 16 is the Spokane Dogs. They're up 3, 16-4. Why can't I scroll for some reason? Oh, the game seems to have frozen a little bit. Man, nothing working today, I'll tell you. BRB. Alrighty then. All right, we're at Spokane, number 16, up 3. Utah State up 4 to the 17th spot, 18-3 record. Tennessee drops 4 to number 18. Dayton drops 1 to number 19. The Dayton Pilots, 16-2. Texas Tech drops 3 to go to 20. San Diego State up 1 to 21. There's VA Commonwealth, the Goats, 17-2. They're up 4 spots. Iowa State up 2 to number 23. Video featuring Dougie. He's being a little goofball here. To number 23. 24 is Villanova Bobcats. They're down from the 20 spot, 14-6. And Houston rounds out the top 25 at 14-5, up 1 spot. So here we go. But yeah, we got our first conference win last season. He is determined to play with me right now, Booby. So it is what it is. Let's look at the conference standings. We're not last. Oh my gosh. Morgan State, who we just beat, is below us. And we almost beat Norfolk State, I recall. But there we go. We're not last. He wants to play tug of war. Next up, guys, we're playing Coppin State. We're 5-15, 1-4 conference record. 1 game win streak, son. Let's just sim until we get to our game. Vermont with the win. Looks like there's not that many games today. Smithfield goes to 9-10. Maine gets their 5th win in 19 tries. Charleston Southern goes to 6-13. Tennessee loses to Mississippi. Wow, that's a big one. Nashville beats number 15 Texas. Florida loses to an unranked Missouri team. Oh my gosh, he is something else. Kentucky wins. Mississippi Valley State goes to 10-8. Southern gets their 5th win in 18 tries. Jackson State 14-4. Nice record. Ugh. He is so strong. Utah Valley State scores 100 and just about wrapping up. Oh my gosh. Abilene Christian scores 100 in their win over Riverside Baptist, and that will take it to January 25th, a Wednesday. Let's go ahead and sim again. See how many games there are. North Carolina, number 10 with the win. Cal drops to 12-7. Louisville wins with goes to 13-7. As is North Carolina State, but they lost. Durham drops to 12-9. Winston-Salem 15-4. Nice record. Number 7 South Bend gets the win. Miami 17-4. Unranked. Stanford 15-6. Number 13 Omaha wins it. See if I can calm him down a little bit. Now Iowa drops 1, 14-7. Indiana 15-6. Nice record. West Lafayette beats number 5 Illinois, and they were number 4, so good win there. Number 12 Cal Los Angeles wins. Number 3 Ohio State wins. Michigan State number 8 wins, goes to 16-5. Very cool. Michigan 13-6. Number 20 Texas Tech goes to 15-5. West Virginia 14-6 beats Cincinnati, who's 13-7. That looked like a good one, but I missed who it was. Kansas beats Oklahoma State. Houston loses to Central Florida. That'll probably knock them off the top 25. Oh, yeah. Hey, boo-boo. My boo-boo. South Philly with the 6th win in 18 tries. We're going to try to get that 6th win today against Coppin State Hawks, I think it said. Wow, quite a few games being played today. Towson goes to 11-7, winning record. Northern Kentucky drops to 5-14. Cambridge drops to 5-15. Princeton now 15-7, decent record. Good record even. And Coppin State is 2nd in the conference at 4-1. Norfolk State 5-0. Like I said, I think there's going to be a conference tournament at the end. And there's something about a transfer portal. I don't know what that is. But apparently we'll be able to do transfers and stuff. I hope I turn that on in the settings. I don't know. I don't remember at the beginning of the season if we had that option. South Dakota drops at 2-17. Ouch. But I hope that I set that. Number 21, San Diego State loses to an unranked team. Boise State drops 1 to go to 14-8. But yeah, I hope that I enabled that because there's this whole thing called the transfer portal, which does transfers for teams and stuff, and they can transfer. I might have thought that it was like teams transferring, and I might have turned that off, and that would be a huge mistake if I did. Citadel loses 1, drops at 12-6. So I really hope that's not the case. Georgia State 2-16. Texas State 13-6. So I really hope that I turned it on, but I haven't seen anything mentioned at all about a transfer portal. Maybe we'll see it in the off season. Southern Miss goes with the win there. Santa Clara 17-5. Wrapping up Wednesday's games. Spokane loses 1 to San Francisco, an unranked team. So all sorts of shenanigans going on in the league. And here we are. We got our game today. North Carolina Central 2-3 against Norfolk State 5-0. North DC 3-2 against South Carolina State 2-3. Delaware State 2-3 versus Morgan State. Hopefully Delaware State wins that game. And then Coppin State 4-1. And we've got something in the inbox. Player updates, suggestions you gave Joey Manning, Brandon Freeman, and Jason Tuck. So let's just have meetings with peeps. Let's tell Joey Manning he's doing great. Your attitude, you're doing great. Okay. Let's tell Jason Tuck, because they're coming back next year. Your attitude, you're doing great. Okay. And what was it, Brendan Freeman? Let's tell him to shoot more mid-range jumpers, to shoot fewer threes for 2 weeks. He'll do his best. Everyone else's suggestions are still valid. So we'll just leave them go. I could text some guys and tell them, like, hey, you guys are doing good. We have to look at the Coppin State, the Coppin State report, scouting report. Our morale is low. Waylon George is a little low. Tim Jones. Let's tell Tim Jones he's doing great. Let's tell Joel Boone he's doing great. And let's see. Let's text them. Let's go to roster. I'm not sure why it's so slow. All right, let's text Joel Boone. Text player. Assess your attitude. You're doing great. Thanks, I appreciate it. Minor improvement. Let's talk to Tim Jones. Want to discuss your attitude? You're doing great. Minor improvement. Who else was it? Brandon Freeman, I guess. Discuss your attitude. You're doing great. Minor improvement. And I don't know about grades. Do we have to tell anybody to get their grades up? He's got a 3.1. Joey Manning, dang. He's the highest. The lowest being like Waylon George. Javon Mitchell is a 2.1. Need to talk about your grades. Listen, we never tried that. What do you want me to do about my grades? Better get yourself a tutor and get those grades up. I think some time away from the team would be good for your grades. I'd like if you spend a little more time studying. How long do I have to do this? 2 weeks? Okay, coach, I'll hit the books. Yeah, we haven't tried that yet. He's been playing big in the last 1 or 2 games. So, again, the only seniors that are leaving next year are Nick and Stephen Favors. Look who we have coming back. Tim Jones will be a senior. Brandon Freeman will be a senior. Waylon George will be a senior. And Joel Boone and Charles Lake will be seniors to lead the team, which is great. But then after that season, next season, we're going to lose a bunch of key players. But coming up, we have Joey Manning will still be a freshman because he redshirted. Same with Jason Tuck. Ivan Carroll will be a sophomore. Bobby White and Doug Price will both be juniors. Jerron Duplessis will be a sophomore, as will Curtis Muhammad. And Jovan Mitchell will be a junior as well. So we are going to have a pretty dope team. Plus, we're bringing freshman recruit Jabari Saucer. So, yeah, we're going to have a pretty stacked team. Coppin State, back when they sent this with the number 301, 7-10. Yeah, that was a while ago because they're 4-1 in league now. We have a 43% chance to win. Cedric Griffiths, the shooting guard. Cedric Griffin is their best player. They run a slow-paced offense, allow their players very limited freedom. In the half court, they have an outside attack with their primary set being motion. They rarely seem to press. They play man-to-man and half-court man-to-man. No advantages in any of the starting positions, and it says they have the bench advantage, which production-wise, they're pretty similar. Very similar. Same with points per game. They average a little bit more, but they allow a lot less than us. They shoot pretty much the same, a little tiny better from 3 and field goal, a little bit tiny better, worse than free throw. They get a couple more assists. Rebounding is very similar. Blocking a little bit more. Stealing's the same, and turnovers basically the same. Cedric Griffin, their shooting guard, he's a senior, averaging 13.9. Charles Lake, now our leading scorer after a big game last game. Greg May, their starting point guard, 4.3 assists to Charles Lake, 3.1. And Arthur Marcus, their power forward senior, only 5.8 to lead the way. So they're not a great rebounding team, so that bodes well for us. If we go to our opponent here, hang on a second, guys. I'm going to try to get a scuff off the screen here. Their morale is good. They have 2 redshirted players. This is a big game for us. They're decent enough against Quad 4. losing records against the other two quads. They have the 241 recruiting rank, which is pretty decent. They have a balanced attack. Cedric Griffin, Greg May. Let's take a look at their team talent-wise. 3 2-stars, make that 4, 5, 6 2-star players, and that's their highest. The rest of the guys are below that. 6 2-stars, 1 1.5-star, and everybody else is lower, either 1 star or a half. Wow. So let's look at the 2-stars. Greg May, their starting point guard, averaging 12, 4, and about 3 boards. Very nice for the junior. Ramin Gaines, point guard, averaging 8.5, 2.5 assists, 1.5 boards. Cedric Griffin, there he is, averaging almost 14, 2.5 assists, 3 boards. He's a shooting guard. Then who else do we have here? Another 2-star, Arthur Marcus, averaging almost 9 and 6 for the senior. Very nice. And then Jermaine Jackson, no relation to Tito, 7, 2 assists and 4 boards. Nice for the sophomore. Will be coming back. And then Jamal Franklin, almost 10 points and 6 boards for the big guy. And 1.6 assists. So there we have it. Those are the guys putting up the numbers for them. They don't average a ton of points. I think we could definitely win this one. It does not look that bad for us. This is a team, yes, they're 4-1 right now, 248 net rank. Second in conference, but we could definitely knock them off. Let's also hope for a Delaware State win over Morgan State. So let's sim it. North Florida goes to 10-10. Quite a few games today. North Alabama drops to 12-8. As does Clarksville with the loss. 5-15. Eastern Kentucky gets the loss. DeLand goes to 10-10. 17-2. Number 19 Dayton. Virginia Commonwealth, 18-2. Olean with a winning record, 12-7. Washington, D.C., 14-7. We're going to watch for our games here. Weber State drops to 4-15. New Mexico State drops to 12-7. So let's see, where are our games here? Jacksonville State scores 100. Toledo beats 15-4 Ohio, knocks them to 15-4. Wow. Eastern Michigan goes to 12-7. Buffalo drops to 13-8. Norfolk State wins, goes to 13-8, as does South Carolina State over North DC. Delaware State loses to Morgan State. I didn't catch the other game. I think there's one more game, but North DC with a loss. That bodes well for us, but Morgan State getting the win is not good for us. We're fighting with them as DeWitt goes to 13-8 to try to stay out of the last spot in the conference and keep my job security for another season. Chicago State drops to 5-15. Almost done here with this day's Sims. Army gets their second win in 19 tries, 2-17 record. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to take on Coppin State. Hopefully get a win, and we're right back in this thing. But Morgan State has 2 wins now. So we definitely need that second win because South Florida. Yeah, we're just about wrapping up here. Florida Atlantic ekes one out to go 11-8, and Memphis 13-6. Nice. The Coppin State Hawks, who were 10-10. Nice record. But let's see. Okay, it's not going to show it. Eric Slaughter had 27 in Morgan State's win. Can I go back to Mid-Eastern Conference? These are tournaments. Oh, there it is. For some reason, it won't show me the old games. But anyway, I'm going to save it here. And we're going to jump in. So this is EP 36A. We're going to save and dive into our game. So I think we're going to look for threes early like we did in the last game. And we're going to play more 5 out and stuff like that. There we go. Oh, it should show us here. Okay, North Carolina Central. Norfolk State stays undefeated. Northeast C to South Carolina State. That's good. Just wish Delaware State could have pulled that off, but a huge game against Coppin State. If we win this conference is hecka messy. We are at home. So let's go, son. Looking good. No clue how Bob White's averaging almost 5 points per game. He seems lately like he just scores barely at all. But anyway, offense, we're going to start out running flex, I suppose. Turn down the freedom a little bit. Offensive crash boards. We really want to crash boards against this team. Defensively, man-to-man, half-court trap once in a while, a little bit. Defensive crash the boards and turn down the intensity a little bit. Matchups. Cedric Griffin guarded by Duplessis. May want to switch that, put Charles Lake on him and Duplessis on May. And let's go, guys. We are ready to tip this thing off. And here we go. Nick loses the tip, so possession arrow goes to us for the second half. And it's stolen by Waylon George. Here come the good guys. Charles Lake to Nick. Gets it to Bobby White. Duplessis has it. He agrees with my complaint. Here comes Lake. Lake shoots off the rim. Nick with the board. Blocked. Ball knocked out of bounds by the offense. Back come Coppin State. Pass taken by Griffin. First block in the game for Jamal Franklin. He gets the ball here. Clark Griffin guarded by Lake. Griffin shoots. Knocked out of bounds by the offense. We come back the other way. Nick receives it. We're freestyling. Nick puts up a shot and made it look easy there. It's a long 2, though. His foot was on the line. Not quite a 3. Here's Griffin, guarded by Lake. That's their big guy right there. Well, their big scorer. Marcus lets one go. Brick. Lake has it. Sprinting the other way. Nick gets it again. He's looking to make a move. Puts up a shot and gets it to fall. Nick picking up where he left off last game. Had a big game against Morgan State. Griffin with it. To Jermaine Jackson. Waylon George there. Back to Marcus. They're running motion. We haven't seen a ton of motion. Griffin. Forced to give it up there. Cedric Griffin gets it again. Jamal Franklin down low. Nick is there. Back to Griffin. Lake on him. Good defense here. Marcus shoots. Bobby White gets the board. Outlets it to Lake. 4-zip is the score. Duplessis has it. To Bobby White. Gets it to Waylon George out top. And George took too many steps traveling. That'll dead our momentum there, but May sprints down court. Gets to Jackson. Pass taken by May. Craig May puts it on the floor. Gets to the rim. Waylon George comes over. He still scores it. Bobby White in the elbow. Nick has it. He's got all 4 of our points right now. Works the defense. Step back jumper. No good. Duplessis offensive board. He's blocked. Or no, he didn't put up the shot. Bobby White has it. To Charles Lake. Makes a great crossover. Gets it to Nick. Nick's been super aggressive. Bobby White with it. To Duplessis. Makes a move. Puts up a shot. Can't score it. Jamal Franklin gets the board. Chance to tie or take the lead with the 3. Here's Jermaine Jackson. Gets it to Marcus. They're running motion. Marcus shoots, and it's knocked out of bounds by the defense. Offensively, we're going to try to bust it open early. Let's run a little 5 out. Look for 3s. Keep the same lineup. Marcus has it. Jermaine Jackson, Waylon George there. Everybody touching the ball on offense. Arthur Marcus. Cedric Griffin, guarded by Lake. Makes him give it up to Jackson in the corner. Nice find. Jackson dumps to May. May takes a shot, and from way downtown, bang, he has all 5 of the points for CSC. Duplessis to Nick. He's been super aggressive. Does he want the 3? No, he gets it to Charles Lake. Running a little 5-out action. Passes to Waylon George. Lake gets warned. Bobby White pops out. Back to Charles Lake. Finds Bobby White. Picked by George. Nick O'Connor. To Waylon on the elbow. Down to Nick in the corner. It's to Charles Lake. Someone's got to shoot. 5 on the clock. And that pass is in the seats, folks. Turnover. Giving it back to Coppin State. Maybe we'll we'll look for 3s. Jermaine Jackson. To Marcus. White is there. Duplessis with the steal. Goes the other way and gets it to Lake on the fast break. Who scores with the layup? Charles Lake with his first 2, our leading scorer. But Duplessis is right there, literally tiny decimal points. Ooh, O'Connor is second board. Duplessis probably averaging 14.3 to Lake's 14.4. Here's Nick again. Shoots. And he's blocked by Jamal Franklin. No foul. Nick being super aggressive. We love to see it early. Jackson with it. Pass taken by Marcus. Back to Jackson. George guarding. Jackson getting a lot of touches. Now they go to Jamal Franklin. Nick is there. Gets it to Cedric Griffin. Griffin shoots and scores for his first 2. Back comes Charles Lake. Bobby White. Duplessis has it. Lake in the corner. Nice find. Lake trying to get to the hole. Gets there. Can't score it. Gets his own board. Up and a foul. He'll shoot 2 when we come back from the timeout. Nice play by Charles Lake. We're just going to run it. Charles Lake hits the first to tie it at 7. They have their starters out there. We're going to leave ours out. Let's go. Here comes May. He's got 5 points in the contest. It's Jermaine Jackson. White intercepts the pass. They stop the fast break, but Charles Lake will bring it over the timeline. Makes a move off the dribble and scores it again. Lake is feeling it. 6 points to lead the way for Charles Lake. High scorer in the contest thus far. Jackson. Down to Marcus. White is there. Gets it out to May. May puts up a shot. Jackson the offensive board. Dishes to Griffin. Lake is right there. He dishes back to Jackson. Kicks it back out. And they're going to reset. Here's Jamal Franklin. Tries to get by Nick. Nick is right there, and a traveling called on Jamal Franklin. And we're coming back the other way. We have a bunch of momentum right now. To Bobby White. We're freestyling. Charles Lake has it. He's been feeling it. Defense all over him. Gets it to Waylon George, top of the key. He's been quiet. Duplessis has it. Finds Charles Lake. To Nick. Nick looking. Gets it to Charles Lake. Let's see what he does. He's going to take his man. Shoots a jumper. And he's fouled. It rattled in and out. And they put Gaines in as their first sub. Charles Lake will shoot 2. Sinks the first. He's got a game-high 7. No, we're going to run with these guys. We got some momentum. This is the second. He's now 3 for 4 from the free throw line. Here comes Gaines. He's also guarding Griffin on the other end, which is tough. Down to Jackson. George is there. Marcus. Pass taken by Griffin. To Marcus. I see some fouling on my end, but and it sails out of bounds. Dead ball turnover. They still have most of their starters out there. I'm going to leave mine out there. Back comes Charles Lake to Duplessis on the elbow. Swings it to Waylon George. Gets it to Bobby White. Duplessis and George both pretty quiet to start. Makes a nice move there. Just to kick it to White. Back to Duplessis. Two-man game here. Bobby White has it. Charles Lake on the block. He likes it down there. Jerron Duplessis. Lets one go. No good. Gains with the board. Races down the other end. Griffin lets one go. Waylon George with the board. He's been great at the small forward. Rebounding wise, and Lake hits a three. And that forces Coppin State to call their first time out of the game. Oh my gosh. Charles Lake, let's praise him. Man, praise God, of course, first, but they still have their starters out there, so I'm leaving mine out there. 7-point lead. Charles Lake already in double figures with 10. And remember, he's coming back next year to lead the way for the good guys, the Condors. Here's Gaines, gets to Marcus. White defending. Marcus shoots and scores it. Knocks the shot down. Back comes Charles Lake. Gets us to Waylon George. We're running none right now. Nothing. Bobby White in the corner. Puts up a three and he's fouled. Great play by Bobby White, and they put in an entirely new unit except for Gaines. So we are going to move Charles Lake. No, we'll put Joel Boone in for... No, we'll put Javon Mitchell in for George. And... And I think that's the only change we're going to make right now. Put Javon Mitchell in for Waylon George. White to shoot three. Misses the first. Looking to get on the board here. Sinks the second. And misses the third. But we get the offensive rebound. Nick with another offensive board. Charles Lake has a chance to extend the 6-point lead. Javon Mitchell in the corner. Kicks it to Nick. See what Nick does. Gets it back to Lake. Lake works the defense. He's fouled and he'll shoot two. Shots off the mark. Charles Lake with a chance to extend it even further. Sinks the first. Bobby White needs a break, so let's bring in Steven Favors and put Nick at the 4. And he misses the second. Chandler gets the board. There's bench units out there. Down 7. We're in good shape early on. It's the Chandler. Favors guarding. Daniel Kelly has it. Gets it to Blackshear. Lake guarding him. He puts up a shot, no good. Steven Favors his first rebound. Down on the baseline. Comes Charles Lake. Gets it to Favors. Favors shoots and he's fouled. So we are living at the foul line right now. Not shooting a great percentage. As he sinks the first. Nick needs a little breather. Let's go with Brandon Freeman. Let's go with Ivan Carroll, who's usually aggressive. And leave Lake and Duplessis out there. Or maybe bring Joel Boone in for Duplessis. So we've got a fresh 4 and Lake, who's got 11 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. Largest lead of the night of 9. Blackshear to Ramin Gaines. Gaines puts up a shot. Good look, but the ball bounces out of bounds. Coming back for the Condors. Let's go, son. Charles Lake. Could we make this a 2-game win streak? Javon Mitchell has it. Carroll catches at the top of the key. He lets one go. No good. Daniel Kelly with it. I figured he'd be aggressive if we put him in offensively, so I'm still going to run the 5 out looking for threes. Blackshear, nice crossover and get to the rim and scores. Slam dunk for Antonio Blackshear to cut the lead to 7. Has taken my Favors. Lake is going to need a breather. Favors puts up a shot. Textbook J. He's got 4 off the bench. Aggressive early. Lake guarding Blackshear. Puts it on the floor again. Lake is right there. Javon Mitchell with the rebound. Outlets to Charles Lake. Ivan Carroll has it. Let's see if he attacks the rim. And a foul on Brant Chandler. That was their foul to give. Still will be shooting from here on out. But let's see. Joel Boone. Lake needs a breather. Let's get in. Let's go with Doug Price. At the 2. And Bobby White at the 2. My backup, Tim Ransom, the first assistant coach, made that play. Put Bobby White in at the 2. I thought that was pretty interesting when I got booted out of the last game or whatever. Or the last time I got booted out. Carroll, Javon Mitchell. Price with the ball. Let's see who's going to be aggressive for us here. Price takes a shot, knocks it down for 3. It's exactly what he's out there to do. Double-digit lead of 12. Blackshear with it. Boone on defense. Down to Chandler. Lets it go. No good. Ivan Carroll with the board. And a chance to extend the 12-point lead. 9 minutes left in the first half. Carroll has it. And the pass intended for Mitchell was knocked out of bounds. We'll keep it moving. It's Joel Boone. To Doug Price, who just knocked down a 3 from the corner. Attacks the rim this time. Jumper, no good. Daniel Kelly, his second board. Let's go. Blackshear with it. Boone is there. Not sure if that's a great matchup, but Boone playing him well so far. Gaines shoots. Price whistle for the foul. And Gaines will shoot 2. Sinks the first. And knocks down the second. So their bench is contributing. Cuts the lead to 10. Here comes Joel Boone. Gets us to Doug Price. We're still running 5 out. Well, right now we're freestyling, but Boone with it. Let's see what he does. Attempts to drive. Gets to the rim with the sprained wrist and all and scores it for 2. 25-13. Joel Boone with the score. Blackshear on the wing. Boone is there. Forces him to pass. Down to Gaines. Gaines puts up a shot, shows his range, hits the 3, cuts it to 9. Gaines playing well for them. Here's Favors in the corner. Joel Boone has it. See what he does. Javon Mitchell's been quiet. Javon Mitchell misses a 3. Ramin Gaines gets the ball and sprints it down. Daniel Kelly to Venner with his first touch. Puts up a shot and puts it through from downtown. Khalid Venner. Back-to-back 3s for Coppin State. And they've now got a little momentum. I should have maybe called a timeout. Favors to Price. Price takes a shot. Brick, but Venner with the rebound. I want to call him Veneer. Blackshear with it. Their bench starting to play well. Gets it to Venner. Carroll's there. To Kelly. Mitchell defending. Makes a move. Step back 3. Javon Mitchell the long rebound. Offensively, we're going to run a little Princeton now. Javon Mitchell has it. Gets it to Boone. Crosses over. Kicks it down to Carroll. Back to Javon Mitchell. Working at the high post. Dribbles it out. Joel Boone has it. Takes a 3. No good. We've gone a little cold, and the lead is 6. Coppin State can cut it to even less now. Has taken by Chandler. Favors is there. I mean, Gaines. We haven't had a steal or turnover in a while. Venner shoots. Can't get it to fall. And they're going to bring in Griffin, Franklin, and Jackson, it looks like. So let's see. They're going to shoot 2. They made some headway here. Let's get our guys back out there. Shoot, we could put the whole unit back out there. Nick, White, Waylon George and Duplessis. We'll put our big four out there. Entire team, I want to show some concern. Players are showing some signs of life. Bender to shoot 2, sinks the first. Lead is 5, closest it's been in a while. Make that 4. And now they get Marcus in there, so they have most of their starting lineup in there. I'm hesitant to put Lake out there just yet. Boone, what the hey? Lake's coming back, and we've got a little momentum. Back comes Charles Lake. To Duplessis, we're running Princeton now against a 3-2 zone. So they're changing up the look a little bit here to try to stop the shooting. Duplessis, jumper, no good. Jamal Franklin with the board. With this unit, I do want to run 5 out, though. They have a chance to cut the lead to single possession. Arthur Marcus has it. Cedric Griffin. He's going to shoot. He's fouled and won. Lake with the foul. And just like that, here comes Coppin State. They've cut it to 2. Chance to cut it to 1, and they do. 25-24. They're on a huge run, even though we have the momentum somehow. Lake gets it to Waylon George. Let's see if our wings can start getting hot a little bit. Lake has it. Takes a shot, rattles out. Griffin with the board. Chance to take the lead for the Hawks. What a turnaround we've had here. After a 12-point lead in our end, Coppin State has a chance to take the lead. Arthur Marcus with it. We may need to drop into a 2-3. Marcus, all over him is White. Charles Lake is third rebound. Sprints down. Gets it to Nick. Nick to Jerron Duplessis. He's still scoreless. He's taken 3 shots. Here's Waylon George, also scoreless, who hasn't taken a shot yet. Dishes back out to Lake. The ref listens to Duplessis. Lake finds George in the corner. Puts up a shot and drains. Sinks the triple try. 4-point lead. Nice play for Waylon George. See if he can get going. Pass taken by Griffin. And I'm going to stop looking for threes just to kind of see if that helps Duplessis get like a little mid-range action going. Lake guarding Griffin. Griffin starting to cook a little bit. Jermaine Jackson puts up a shot. No good. Bobby White is second board. Outlets to Lake. Lake to Duplessis. Let's see what he'll do. Running 5 out. Gets it to Nick. Guarded by Marcus. Kicks it to Lake. Charles Lake. Waylon George, he just sank a 3. Gets to Bobby White, who pops out on the wing. Back to Lake, 15 on the shot clock. Lake puts up a shot, can't get it to go. Jamal Franklin with the board. Gaines gets warned. Duplessis guarding Gaines. Griffin again. Busts a move. Lake all over him. He sinks it anyway. 3-pointer for Cedric Griffin. And here comes Griffin. He's got 8 points. Their leading scorer. Here's Bobby White. Back to Duplessis. Pass taken by Nick. Way out is Nick. We might want to run the flex to get him better looks. Here's Lake getting to the hole and scoring. Gets off the square for 2. We trap. Cedric Griffin. Offensively, I still want to run the 5 out. Let's try running flex. Shot is up. Barely grazed the rim. It was only a 2-pointer. And he'll shoot 2. Griffin, chance to get into double digits right behind Lake with 10. And now Blackshear checks in for him. Griffin checking out. Not sure why, but just I want to give Blackshear a look at the 2. Now we get it to Nick, more in his wheelhouse here. Draw Duplessis on the block. Little step back and scores it. That's what we wanted. More 2-point looks. Ramin Gaines. And Charles Lake with the steal. Goes the distance and gets it to Nick for his 6-point. And just like that, we're back up 5. D'Antonio Blackshear. Oh, and Lake the foul. That's number 3 on him. What? I didn't know he had 2. I was looking over here thinking that was Lake with the fouls. Oh, I did not know he had 2 fouls. What? Joel Boone. Oh my gosh, that's bad. Third foul in the first half for Charles Lake. Ramin Gaines takes a shot. Bobby White is third board. He's been active. Back comes Joel Boone. Jerron Duplessis with it. He's got 2. Gets it to Nick on the block. High post. Nice step back. Shoots and scores it. How in the world he got that one to fall, and he'll shoot the free throw. Chance to extend the lead again. Back to 8. So we were up 12. Then they cut it to 1, and now we're back up 8. Since changing to flex, Gaines with the quick 3 and drains the triple. Cuts it to 5. Joel Boone kicked by the defense. Oh my goodness. They have Wagner in at the point power forward who's fresh. Waylon George has it. Gets it to Duplessis. He wants it. Gets it to Nick. ISO for Nick. Kicks it to Duplessis. We're freestyling. Oh, Duplessis pass stolen by D'Antonio Blackshear, who's been active. Pass taken by Kelly. George is there. Kelly to the fresh Wagner. Bobby White guarding. Wagner shoots. Bobby White fouls. He'll shoot 2, and that was our foul to give. So next time they're in the bonus, I think, Ed Wagner sinks his first 2 of the game, and it's a 3-point game once again. Joel Boone gets it to Nick. They're in the bonus, so if we can draw fouls, that'd be lovely. Nick shoots a shot. He's got 11. He's on fire. Very aggressive early. Blackshear gets it to Chandler. O'Connor's there. Ed Wagner again. Bobby White guarding. Gets it to Gaines. Back to Blackshear. Boone is there. To Kelly. And it's stolen by Duplessis. His second steal. Kicks it to Boone. Pass taken by Duplessis. We're running flex. He'll get it back to Boone, who's down on the block. Makes a nice move. Off the mark and knocked out of bounds by the offense. Boone can't get it to go. And 55 seconds left. We are just going to leave our starters out there. They're a little on the tired side. They bring back a fresh Griffin and Rayner. Griffin guarded by Boone. That's not a great matchup, but Boone's been okay on him. Kelly to Wagner. Rayner gets warned. Pass taken by Rayner. To Griffin. Boone is there. Let's see how he does. Makes him give it up to Chandler. O'Connor on D. Back to Griffin. I work the ref. I get warned. Daniel Kelly gets it to Chandler. He's making a move. Attempts to finish at the basket. Nick is there. He goes right over him. Monster dunk. Now it's a 3-point gem. Let's see if we can look for threes to end the half. Whoops. Boone gets it. He takes a shot. Misses it. O'Connor offensive board. He's got a 3 if he wants it. Gets it to Duplessis. 15 on the game clock and the shot clock. Duplessis shoots. No good. Daniel Kelly with the board. His 4th. Chance to tie or cut it to 1. Wagner has it. 6 on the clock. Gets it back to Kelly. George defending. Joel Boone the steal. He's going to heave it. At the buzzer, Joel Boone. It's a 3. What a play to get the steal, run down, and shoot a 3. He's got 5. Favors has 4. Lake with 13 and O'Connor with 11. Charles Lake, player of the half, 13 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and a steal. We've led by as much as 12. We're beating them points in the paint 14-8. Second chance points 3-0. Fast break 4-0. Gaines has been really good off the bench for them. Griffin was good. May was active early but only played 7 minutes with 2 fouls. Venner played good. Their bench contributed. A couple of their starters with offers, but yeah, I couldn't ask for more out of the good guys. We're up 6 and the possession arrow is ours. So we will start the half. I don't know if I want to have Lake out there. Yeah, 3 fouls. Let's see, matchup wise, he's guarding Griffin. You know what? Let's make the really rare change and have Lake guard Jermaine Jackson, Waylon George guard Griffin, because Jermaine Jackson has not been shooting or scoring or anything. Here's Charles Lake on the inbound pass. Gets it to Bobby White. White attempts to drive. Oh, and a traveling violation on Bobby White. So we're going to start by running the flex, but we're going to look for threes in the flex. May dribbles up. Gets it to Griffin. Pops out. George is there. Griffin puts up a three and knocks it down. Tied for the leading scorer with 13. 3-point game. Here's George in the corner. Greg May with the steal. They run the distance and one on the jam. Arthur Marcus and a quick 6 points, potentially, as he does drain it. Quick 6 points in 30 seconds for the bad guys, the Hawks. Back comes Charles Lake. See if we can calm down here. They cut that lead completely away. Charles Lake has it, gets it down to Nick on the block, makes a move, and Marcus with the foul, number 2 on him. So we'll inbound. Back comes Charles Lake. Wants Nick to have it. Clear out for Nick. Pass intended for White was knocked out of bounds. We'll try it again. Robert White receives the pass. He shoots from long range. No good. That notification you heard was someone at the door. Okay, it's nobody. All right, back come the Hawks. Chance to lead here. I don't think they've lead. Franklin almost gets the and one. Nick with the foul. It's his first. Franklin to shoot 2, and he does give the Hawks the lead. And he sinks them both. Hang on, guys. Bear with me 1 second. All right, so offensively, we're going to switch back to 5 out. Charles Lake with the ball. Brings it across the timeline. Now we're looking at a deficit. Nick down low. Gets it to Duplessis. We're freestyling right now. Pass taken by George. George to Duplessis. Gets it back to George. 2-man game. George takes his man to the bucket. Nice play by Waylon George to tie it at 44. Defensively, let's turn the intensity up a little bit. The half court. Marcus with the ball down low. White is there. To Franklin. I'm going to argue. I was warned. Defensive foul. Shot is off the mark. Foul was on Nick O'Connor, his second. And now this is a tight game. We thought we could pull away early. Not the case. Jamal Franklin sinks a pair, and it's a 2-point gem. We've got some playing to do in the second half. Duplessis gets it to Charles Lake along the baseline. To Nick at the high post elbow area. Waylon George has it. Takes a shot. He's blocked by Jermaine Jackson. And back comes May the other way. Duplessis guarding. Griffin has it. George on him. Griffin shoots and sinks a 3. And we're going to need a quick 30-second timeout because we're getting rocked right now. Unbelievable. It's also crashed the boards a little bit more defensively. Offensively, guys, the matchups are okay, I think, but, you know, I should scream at them. Let's run a 3-pointer. Duplessis has 2 points for Charles Lake to Waylon George. Now, come on, guys. Let's get back in this. Charles Lake inbounds. George popped out. Jackson defending. George puts up the 3. Can't get it. Nick O'Connor the board. Makes a move. Kicks it back to George. George attacks the rim again nicely. He's got 7. Waylon George starting to come on. It's a 3-point gem. May passes to Griffin. George guarding. Down to Franklin. Gets it to Griffin. George on defense. Bobby White extended on defense. They clear out for Griffin. Dumps it down to Marcus. Greg May. They're moving the ball well. Stolen by Lake. And he goes the distance. Kicks it back out. Duplessis has it. He's been quiet. Waylon George with it. Oh, Nick down low. He finds him on the baseline. To Jerron Duplessis. I like when they have some freedom. Duplessis with the sidestep. Can't get it to go. Nick is 5th. Offensive rebound. Unbelievable. Gets it to Duplessis. He's fouled and he'll shoot 2. And offensively, guys, I like this. I'm going to give him a little more offensive freedom. And let's see. They've got Gaines in. How does that look matchup-wise? Okay, Lake is still guarding Jermaine Jackson. Looks good. Duplessis with only his 3rd point. He's been quiet. See if that'll get him going. 4 points for him. 1 point gem. Hawks lead. Pass to Griffin. Jamal Franklin. Nice find by Griffin. Franklin kicks it back out. Jackson. Pass taken by Gaines in the corner. Bobby White with the steal. And they go the distance. Nick has his 13th point. Bobby White finds Nick. And just like that, it's a lead change. Good guys in the lead. Guys, if we could win this game, we're right back in this conference thing. Franklin way down low. Back out to Arthur Marcus. Bobby all over him. Waylon guarding Griffin. Back to Marcus. Yeah, if we could win this, Marcus loses the ball. It's a held ball. Wait, that is poked loose and there's a scramble. Looks like a held ball. Oh, they're going to go by possession. Oh my gosh, it's the first time we've seen that this season. Unreal. They have possession, but it switches back to us now. If something like that happens again. That's the first time I've seen that I can recall. Pretty cool that's in the game. Marcus attempts to drive. Bobby White, great defense. Marcus, it's a tough shot anyway. Their power forward has 7 points. Gives CSC the lead. Pass deflected out of bounds. We're going with our starters. Waylon George has it. Surveys the floor. Gets it to Lake. Lake puts up a shot. He's blocked. Bobby White gathers it, though. White's pass was stolen by Griffin. Gets it to Gaines. Chance for CSC to extend the lead. To Griffin. George guarding. Man, it's been a good one in the second half. Pass taken by Marcus. Bobby White is there. White with the foul. Marcus had a good look but couldn't convert. White with his second. They're going to leave their starters mostly out there. I'm going to leave mine. Shot is missed by Marcus. And he makes the second. 2-point lead for the Hawks. Not sure why it's CSC. Coppin State C. And why are we MDES? Maryland Eastern Shore. Okay. Coppin State College, maybe. Yeah, probably. Duplessis with it. Misses a 3. Bobby White is there for the putback. Sweet string music for White. His first field goal. And we're tied at 52. Anybody's game right now. They've played some stellar second half basketball. We've been just kind of trying to keep up. Franklin with the move. He's now got 6. Flushes it down. Gets past Nick defensively. Lake surveys. Gets it to White. We're running 5 out now. Duplessis. Let's see if we can get a good shot here. Gets it to Nick. Will Nick want the 3? Gets it to Charles Lake. He's not afraid to shoot. He steps in. Dishes to Waylon George. Good ball movement. Duplessis has it. Does he want the 3? He does, and fills it up from long range, giving us the 2-point lead, or the 1-point lead. Back they come. Jermaine Jackson guarded by Lake. He's been quiet. Franklin's been good for them. O'Connor there. Back to Marcus. Bobby White all over him, and White commits the foul number 3 on him. That's our 5th team foul, compared to their 2 only. They go with some fresh legs, Kelly and Chandler. I'm starting to learn to look down here a lot more. It's very important, like how you want to match up and stuff. I'm going to bring in, Favors was good, so I'm going to bring him in and move him to center to guard Franklin. Nick can guard Chandler. George is guarding Gaines. Duplessis will guard Kelly, or whatever it is. Lake guards Kelly. George guards May, or George guards Gaines, and Duplessis guards May. Yeah, we can leave them out there. Yeah, let's go. 1 point gem. We don't want to put our bench in there right now. Gaines is guarded by Duplessis. George guarding Gaines. Right, that's what we said. Franklin has it. Shoots over Favors, but Favors there to alter the shot. However, Gaines gets the board and put back. 1 point game. Lake to George. Lake can't handle the pass from George. That's his third turnover. We're going to run it. They have 3 fresh guys out there compared to us, so we got to watch that. That's probably where I messed up a lot in the past. I didn't match the fatigue levels. Gaines puts up a shot. Franklin, the offensive rebound. He's blocked by Favors, who gathers it. I'm going to have to put some fresh bodies out there to match up with their intensity. They're really flying around the court. George with it. Kicks to Duplessis. Looks to do something. Gets to Waylon George in the corner. Goes to the hole. Mid-range jumper's good for George. His 9th point. He's played beautifully offensively, and it's a 1 point gem. Lake with his 3rd steal. Goes the distance. Gets it to Nick. Game high 15 for Nick O'Connor. And where's Griffin for them? Chandler with the ball. Stephen Favors with the steal. Look at this. We are cruising now. Chance to extend the 3-point lead. Duplessis in the corner. To Waylon George at the foul line. Why not? And Kelly whistled for the foul first on him. 12 minutes left in the half. I'm going to let them run a little bit more. We do have 1:30 and 1 timeout left. Duplessis with it. Waylon George. We're freestyling to Stephen Favors. He's fresh at least. Gets it to Waylon. Nick with it. Let's see what he can do. It's probably a season high for Nick, 15 or close to it. To go with 6 boards. Here's Favors, 7 on the shot clock. And the pass is in the seats. Favors turns it over. But we can give our guys a quick breather. We can get Bobby White in for Nick, and Lake has been quiet in the second half. We're going to need him down the stretch, so let's get Jovan Mitchell in there for defense. Leave George and Duplessis out there to score. We trap. Pass goes to Griffin. Pass taken by Chandler. Jermaine Jackson receives it. Mitchell guarding. We might have to put Mitchell on Griffin. Cedric Griffin gets it. I want to double Griffin, actually. Griffin shoots. Jovan Mitchell is 3rd rebound. We have Waylon George on Mitchell. Mitchell gets to Favors. Nice pass. Down low. And Favors gets to the rim. Can't put it in. Chandler gets the rebound. Griffin with it. We double. He finds Chandler down low. Back to Gaines. Duplessis on him. Gaines lets it go. Bobby White with his 6th rebound. He's been great defensively. Jovan Mitchell to Waylon George. Let's see if he can keep it going. He's tired. As is Jerron Duplessis. Gets it to Favors. We're freestyling a bit. Jovan Mitchell in the corner. Does he want the 3? Bobby White has it. 14 on the shot clock. And Arthur Marcus, foul number 3. They're going to leave him out there. Oh boy, 10:39 left. How can we hang on to this lead? Doug Price might be a mistake defensively. I would probably go, honestly, Tim Jones. But I'm not going to make that change just yet. Wait a minute. Oh, Guys are tired. We need them out there, though. Let's just run with it. A little bit more. Javon Mitchell to Bobby White. White kicks it to George. Knocked out of bounds. Dead ball. 10 on the shot clock. Throws in to Mitchell. Mitchell to White. At the elbow. Waylon George has it. Let's see if he can make a move. He's tired, though. Gets it to Bobby White. Duplessis has it. Elbow isolation for him. He lets it go. No good. Favors the offensive board. Pass taken by Bobby White in the corner. Does he have a three? He makes a dribble move. Gets to the elbow and scores. White hits the Deuce. Huge shot. 5-point gem. Back comes Gaines. Gets us to Griffin. We double. Griffin shoots over the double team. Great defense. Waylon George with the board. Chance to extend the 5-point lead. Mitchell finds George. He lets a three go and fills it up from long range. Waylon George with 12, and it's a team effort to extend this lead to 8. We double Griffin. Duplessis guarding. Over Duplessis. Nice defense there. Favors with the board. Chance to make it a double-digit lead. Jerron Duplessis at the elbow. Gets it to Waylon George, who's been hot this second half. Back to Duplessis. Duplessis lets a three go off the rim. Brett Chandler with the rebound, and back comes Gaines. Gets it to Jermaine Jackson. Mitchell's there. Arthur Marcus down low. Bobby White guarding. He shoots over him and gets it to go. 6-point lead. George with the ball. He's tired. Lets one go off the rim. We're going to have to get a sub in there for him. And stolen by Waylon. Wait a minute. And goes the distance. Nice pass by Waylon to Javon Mitchell to extend it back to 8. Here's Cedric Griffin, guarded by Duplessis. And George. Double team. Brett Chandler. Favors there. He gets it to Marcus. Ramin Gaines, guarded by Duplessis. To Jackson. Mitchell guarding. Griffin. Back to Ramin Gaines in the corner. Nice find. Gaines puts up a shot. No good. Marcus offensive board. Bobby White didn't box out well there. Under 8 minutes left in the game. Gaines has it. We're looking for our second win in a row. Second conference win overall. Griffin puts up a shot and Favors with the board. The double team is working, holding Griffin to 16. And there's a foul, their 15th foul. And a chance to get some subs in, so Griffin will sit down. He's a little cold. George is tired. So let's bring back 7:42. Is it too early for Charles Lake? Let's put Lake at the 3. Favors, White, Duplessis. Let's get Joel Boone at the 2. Motivate the entire team. Praise him. Let's run a set play. Let's put a dagger right now. 3-pointer. Joel Boone gets it to Javon Mitchell. Mitchell throwing in. Gets it to Boone. Mitchell will make the move here. Pass taken by Mitchell. Nice find by Boone. Let's see if he hits it. He attacks the rim instead and gets it to go. Great improvisation by Javon Mitchell. He's got 4 big ones and has played a good game. Oh no, now we're doubling Greg May. Let me stop that. Griffin's not out there. Greg May takes a shot. No good. Charles Lake is 4th rebound. Good defense and box out by Lake. Chance to extend the double-figure lead. 10-point game. Boone lets a 3 go. Knocks it through from downtown. Lake gets warned. We have to watch that. 13-point lead. Biggest of the game. Coming here in the second half. Mitchell guarding. Dump it off to Chandler. And Joel Boone with the steal. Great defense by Boone and Stephen Favors. And now we're starting to learn how to coach a little bit. Matchup-wise. I'm starting to figure it out. I should have did this early in the season, but I guess that's the learning process. You have to really watch who they put in down here and watch your matchups all game long. Here's Favors with it. Thought he was going to make a move because why not? We're up 13. And a foul on Kelly. That was their foul to give. Next one puts them in the penalty. As good as Favors has played, yeah, let's get Nick back at the 4. And that looks good for us. Offensively, honestly, cut the pace down a little bit. I don't want to stall offense. Yeah, we Gucci. 7 of 21 from downtown for 33%. Not terrible. Charles Lake in the corner. Let's see what he does. Lets one go. Comes up short. Nick, his 6th offensive rebound. Shot rattles out, but he'll shoot 2. I made a mistake. I thought O'Connor was the high scorer, but Griffin is with 16. Chance to tie him on the second free throw. Misses them both. So Nick only 1 for 3 of the line. And Griffin remains the game-high scorer. Kelly, guarded by Mitchell. Gets it to Venner, who played well in the first half. Nick is there. He tries to go by him. Nick all over him. Tough shot. Sweet string music for Khalid Venner. 6 minutes left in the game. We're running 5 out. Joel Boone takes a 3 and drains it. He's got 11. His 3rd three-pointer of the game. 14-point lead, biggest of the game. Kelly to answer, and it's good for 3. His first points of the game. Daniel Kelly hits a 3. We're up 11. As long as we don't implode, we should be fine. Lake with it. He puts up a shot and drills the trifecta. He's now tied for game-high score with 16. Back to 14-point lead. Benner gets it to Chandler. Favors there. To Kelly. Mitchell guarding. Takes a shot and hits the iron. Bounces up and in. Javon Mitchell brings it across the timeline. Gets it to Stephen Favors. He's been great for us. Favors over to Lake in the opposite corner. Makes the dribble move. He's fouled. Almost an and 1. He'll shoot 2. And he is now the sole game-high scorer with 17. Make it 18, and it's back to a 14-point gem. Looks like we're going to get our second win, guys, but let's play good here to end the game. May, guarded by Lake. Got to watch him. Kelly. Mitchell's there. We like that matchup. Kelly buries it from behind the arc. He's now got 8 all of a sudden after being scoreless the whole first half. Joel Boone with it. Can he make it happen? Gets it to Lake. 11-point gem. Lake puts up a shot. Misses it badly. Kelly with the rebound. They have a little bit of momentum here. We've got to watch that. Lake guarding May. Gets it to Chandler. Chandler gets the gains. We want to double team Daniel Kelly. Stolen by Javon Mitchell, and we run. Mitchell gets it to Lake. 4 minutes left in the game. Nick finally gets a touch again. Dishes to Boone at the elbow. Back to Nick. 2-man game. Nick finds Lake. He's a good passer. Now Nick in the corner. Isolation. Dumps it back to Boone. 11 on the clock. We're using the clock. Boone puts up a 3. No good. Khalid Venner. They have a chance to cut it to single digits. On this possession, Kelly's double teamed. Gets it over to Venner. O'Connor's there. Nick with the block. Knocked out of bounds by the offense. We're going to call a full timeout. There it is. All right. So we are cruising, son. We're up 11. Let's get Jerron Duplessis back in. Mitchell has played well, but we'll get Duplessis back in. Lake will go to the point guard. Boone at the 2. Favors can get a break. He played very well. Nick O'Connor will go to the 5, and this is the lineup we'll run out there now as they bring back in Griffin. And basically their starters with May. So we want to, let's see. Oh, sorry, boo-boo. Sorry. We'll put Charles Lake, who has not fouled, on Cedric Griffin and double team him. This guy will be guarded by Duplessis. Greg May will be guarded by Joel Boone. Everything else looks kosher. Let's motivate the team. Entire team, praise them. We're not going to run a late play, but if we do, let's run a pick and roll. Charles Lake and Nick O'Connor. We're going to run, let's turn the pace down. We're going to run 5 out. Offensive freedom. That's fine. Look for threes and stall offense. And do we have to run the play again? Pick and roll. Charles Lake, Nick O'Connor. Call a set play. Let's go. We get the ball. They're pressing. Charles Lake with it. Oh, we do have the ball. I didn't know we had the ball. Gonna run our pick and roll. Oh, gets it to Duplessis instead. He delivers to Lake. We have a pretty fresh unit out there. See, I was always messing up with the fatigue. You know, messing up that. Now I know what to do. Look at their fatigue and judge from there. Joel Boone in the corner. Nice find by Nick. Bobby White. Dishes to Boone again in the corner. And he's going to go back to White. Little chemistry here. Griffin with the second steal. They go the distance, and Jamal Franklin cuts it to 9. Under 3 minutes to play. And Charles Lake has it. Dribbles to the top of the key. Gets it to Duplessis. We just need to run some clock. Nick O'Connor out top. Passes to Boone. Let's be smart with the ball. We turn the pace down. Lake has it. 9-point lead. And the pass was knocked out of bounds. Dead ball. Lake has it. We still have a 30-second timeout if we need. Boone gets it. Gets it to Jerron Duplessis. 4 on the shot clock. He's going to take a shot and rattles home the 3 ball. And that was the nail in the coffin, I think. 12-point game. Griffin has it. We double him. Boone and Lake are there. He gets it to Jackson. I think I have to say, Jackson sinks the triple try to cut it to 9. I have to say this was probably my best coach game of the whole season. Not to toot my own horn. I'm just saying that I'm learning a bit of how to do it better. And I'm seeing a lot of things that I didn't see before. Nick has it. Gets it to Boone. Our 5 out is starting to come around. Boone attacks the rim and scores it. Any one of the and one argues with the ref. Double-digit game, under 2 to go. Pretty much locks it up with that Duplessis 3 and then the Boone score. You have to watch matchups. You have to watch the whole shebang. Griffin with it. Your double teams. Boone back to May. Boone playing a good defensive game. We played an overall excellent defensive game. Nick with the steal out of the double team. Double team works again. Lake has it, and now we can just stall some more time. We're going to get our second conference win. 2 wins in a row, as they're now in the bonus. So Charles Lake will shoot 1 and 1. He's got a game high 18, make it 19. Can he score 20 again? He can. 6th time this year, Charles Lake has scored 20. And we're all over Coppin State, who was 4 and 1 in the conference. What an upset. But now I know how to coach a little bit better. So, saying that much, we've won 2 games in a row, both being conference games. Jackson commits the intentional foul. They're going to try to extend the game. 12-point game, and Lake makes it 13. 10 of 12 from the line, where we lived in the first half. Second half, we cooled down there, but 16 of 22 from the line for 72%. They're 15 of 16 from the line, which is crazy. Also 10 of 19 from downtown. Yet we still have a 13-point lead. That is amazing by us. Our guys everybody played a good game. Even Doug Price, I think, came in and hit a 3. Griffin puts up a 3, hits it from deep, his 6th time scoring 20. Cuts it to 10, and they're not going to foul here. Oh, they do foul. Number 3 on Jackson. Lake takes it to 23. He is money from the line. Boom. Probably a season high, maybe, or no, at least game high 24 for Lake. Don't let Griffin get a 3 here. He's double teamed. because we want Lake to be the game high scorer. Arthur Marcus, and that is going to do it. Just about. Here we go. We double again. Griffin beats the double team. Lake guarding. Nice defense by Lake, but the defense knocks it out of bounds. 19 seconds left. Might as well. I'm going to put my bench in. Freeman, just to make sure there's no injuries or anything. There we go. Change of lineup. Greg May to dribble it out. Freeman. Oh, Boone's injured, so I should have got Boone out of there and put Javon Mitchell. That's my bad. We don't want Joel Boone to extend his injury. Griffin shoots over Boone. He gets the rebound. And that'll do it. 90-78. The final. Doug Price. He's going to let one go off the rim, but just an awesome overall game by a bunch of players for us. It was really, really well done. 12-point lead. Charles Lake, player of the game. 24 game high. 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 3 steals. He's been a triple-double threat, too, lately. 30 points in the paint to their 20. 11 second chance points to their 2. And 10 fast break. That's got to be a season high, maybe. To their 4. Lake had 24. Nick had 15. Boone off the bench had 13. Duplessis had 10. George had 12. So 5 guys in double figures. And even Mitchell, Favors, White, who didn't score double figures, played awesome overall games. White had 6 boards, 2 steals, and an assist. Favors had a block, a steal, an assist, and 5 boards. Mitchell was a floor general, 3 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. So everybody chipping in and playing an awesome game. Nick also had 7 rebounds and 4 assists, a steal, and a block. Incredible. Griffin had 21, 4 assists, 2 steals, a block, and 2 rebounds. Pretty nice game for him, as expected. Gaines had 10, and Marcus had 10, but everybody else pretty much quiet in single digits. So we do it big time, beating the 4-1 Coppin State Hawks, taking us to 2-4 in the conference, which means we might not be last place. We hold the tiebreak right now over Morgan State because we beat them. So, oh my gosh, what an awesome game. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for tuning in and catching this awesome win for the good guys. Stay tuned for more, God willing. I'm going to continue the league as well. We're really getting to the end of the league here, wrapping things up. I'm getting better at coaching, as you can see, and we're going to try to extend our winning streak to 3 next time. So I invite you to come join me. If you enjoyed this, guys, and I hope you did, please smash that like button. Lets me know that you dig it. Plus, also, if you want to drop a comment or subscribe if you're new, that would be cool as well. If we look at the standings real quick, our next game, though, if we click schedule, is against Delaware State Wasps. Our first time facing Delaware State. And then it's back to North Carolina Central, who blew us out 80-58 last time. And then we repeat the cycle again of conference games. So super fun stuff. Having an absolute blast. There's standings. Mid-Eastern Conference. Oh my gosh, we're 3rd from last. And a huge game next time against Delaware State. We can send them to the bottom of the league and us pretty comfortably to the middle if we can beat Delaware State. So we'll check them out next time. Stay tuned for that. And yeah, we're 1-12 away, 5-3 at home, a winning record, as a lot of these other teams are as well, with struggles on the road like North DC, Coppin State. A winning record on the road for South Carolina State. That's pretty impressive, but North Carolina Central has problems. But yeah, until next time, guys, be well, live well, stay well, and much love, peace, and joy. In the last 10 games, Norfolk State is 9-1. And we're 4-6 with a 2-game win streak. That's pretty cool, too. But Norfolk State is rocking it, too, at the top of the league, 6-0. We knocked Coppin State down a little bit to 4-2. overall record, we go to 6-15, still one of the worst records, lowest amount of wins in the league, in the conference. South Carolina State hits the 3rd spot. North DC with a very dangerous big 3 hits the 4th. Why is Morgan State ahead of us? I'm not sure how they figured that out, because we beat them, but they're 5th. 6th spot goes to us, 7th North Carolina Central, and 8th the Wasps. So till next time, guys, be well, live well, stay well. Much love, peace, and joy. We'll see what we got to do next time to keep things going. And yeah, God bless you all. God be with you. And thanks so much. Peace, guys. Join me next time, and ciao for now.